Let me tell you a secret, something the greatest athletes in the world know. And here's the crazy part. It has almost nothing to do with how strong or fast they are.
You see, the biggest games in the world, I'm talking about the ones that make or break careers, the ones that turn players into legends, they aren't actually won on the field.
Nope. They're won right up here, in the mind.
And here's the real kicker. You, yes, you, are playing that exact same game every single day, and you might not even know it. Let's talk about the mental game. Because the absolute legends, they weren't just physically gifted. No way. They were mental warriors. I mean, think about Muhammad Ali. The guy was a master of psychological warfare, right? He won fights before the first punch was even thrown. He'd get inside his opponent's head, plant seeds of doubt, and they'd be beaten before the bell even rang.
And what about Michael Jordan? Look, he didn't just outplay his opponents. He mentally overpowered them. He'd walk onto that court with this aura of invincibility. The other team was basically defeated before the game even started.
So, what were their weapons? It wasn't just about raw skill. It was about confidence, it was about handling pressure, and it was about sheer presence. Those were their real secret weapons.
All right, so how does all this stuff from the sports world actually apply to, your life? Well, it turns out the connection is direct. As the folks at GloveWorks point out, the mental skills you develop in the ring can be applied to all areas of your daily life. See, this isn't just about sports, it's about life.
Think about it. Every job interview, every big meeting, every tough conversation, that's your arena. And just like in sports, it's a mental game first. But here's the problem. Most people are losing before they even show up, all because they haven't prepared their mind. Okay, so winning really boils down to 3 invisible forces. First, there's confidence. That's all about how you show up. Then there's focus, what you choose to pay attention to. And finally, control, how you deal with pressure. Now, athletes train these things every day, but the rest of us, we kind of just hope for the best. But you know what? That all changes today. Right now, we're going to break down the 5 mental rules that the pros use to win. And these are things you can start using immediately.
All right, here's the playbook. We're talking control your inner voice, visualize before you act, master pressure, don't avoid it. Focus on the game, not the crowd, and play the long game. Let's get into it.
All right, rule number 1, control your inner voice. You know that little voice in your head, the one that's always talking? Well, that voice can be your biggest cheerleader or your harshest critic. It's up to you.
So, instead of thinking something like, man, I hope I win, an athlete thinks, I've prepared for this. See the difference? One is just wishing. The other is a statement of fact based on the work you've put in.
So here's what you can do. Before anything important, just stop and ask yourself this one question. What would a confident version of me be thinking right now? Whatever that answer is, think that. Okay, rule number 2, visualize before you act. And let me be clear, this isn't just about daydreaming about success. No, this is a legit strategic rehearsal that happens in your mind. What top performers do is they use all their senses to imagine their performance. And get this, science shows that doing this fires up the exact same parts of your brain as when you're actually doing the thing. It's like you're practicing without even moving.
But here's a pro tip, and this is crucial. A lot of people just visualize the outcome, getting the trophy, landing the job. That's fine, but it's not the most powerful way. What's way more effective is to visualize the process. Imagine yourself acing each step one by one. Research proves this is the real game changer.
So, next time you have a big interview or a task, don't just hope for the best. See yourself executing it perfectly, step by step. Your brain will follow the script you give it.
All right, on to rule 3, master pressure. Don't avoid it. Look, for most of us, pressure is the enemy. We see it, we run. But great athletes, they reframe it. To them, pressure isn't a threat. It's a test. It's a chance to prove themselves. And you don't build this mental strength in one big moment. You build it with small, daily actions. Like, speak up in a meeting when you normally wouldn't. Share that new idea you have. Take a small, calculated risk. Each time you do something a little uncomfortable, you're building up your pressure muscle. Rule number 4 is a big one. Focus on the game, not the crowd. In sports, if you start worrying about what the fans are shouting or what the other team is doing, you've already lost. And guess what? Life is exactly the same. So that means you have to stop comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel on social media. Stop overthinking what your coworkers or competitors are up to. Focus on the only things you can actually control: your preparation, your effort, and your mindset. That's where all your energy should go.
And that brings us to our final rule, number 5, play the long game. Any great athlete will tell you, a career isn't about one single game. It's about a whole season, a whole career. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
There's this great quote from Dr. Michelle Clear, a performance psychologist, who says, "Winning isn't necessarily succeeding, and losing isn't necessarily failing." And that's so true, right? Sometimes you can lose a match but play the best you've ever played. That's a win. The final score just doesn't tell the whole story.
So you gotta stop expecting instant success. Not every project will be a huge hit. Not every idea will work. Just remember this one thing: consistency beats talent. Every single time.
So, let's wrap this all up. If there's one thing you take away from all of this, what should it be?
It really comes down to this. You don't lose out on a job or an opportunity or even an argument because you aren't talented enough. You lose because you weren't mentally prepared for it.
So I'll leave you with this question. Are you just playing the game, or are you actually learning how to win it?